Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Joe Does Stuff from After Prison Show, at least from the filming studio, from my shed. And don't want to make this video super long, but I want to give you guys an update. What the hell has been going on and where the hell has Joe Does Stuff been at? Have I been doing anything? Well, the answer to that question is definitely yes. I filmed quite a few videos over the course of the last week, maybe even longer. Probably something like 5 videos, and I haven't gone with any of them for a number of different reasons. Number one, things have been changing on a daily basis, so something that I filmed today might not be relevant tomorrow. That was certainly the case over the course of my absence. I would film something, and then the very next day it was pretty much irrelevant. Another thing was, I felt like I was bitching about a hell of a lot of stuff. And a part of why I was bitching about a hell of a lot, it wasn't like I felt, I was bitching about a lot of stuff. And I was in a bit of a funk. Yeah, I was a little depressed. And I get in my feelings sometimes, and the world's against me, and I feel like I can't never win. So there was that, which led to me bitching a lot. And then I guess the last thing is I just didn't like anything that I was filming. It was a lot of just talking about things, and we're not doing anything, just like here today. But the difference is I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet and to the point and try to hit you guys with all of the things that I want to share with you guys, the stuff that I have been doing and the stuff that we are getting ready to do. So where do we begin? Let's begin with the fact that just on this past Friday, the Flip House number 2, it sold. What a bittersweet time that was. Also a bit of a shit show as well. And I was in my feelings about a couple of things, felt like a couple of things weren't fair. I would learn right at the very end that I was going to have to pay a lot more closing costs than I thought that I would have to. You know, when you're flipping houses, a good rule of thumb is 10% off tops. Take 10% off tops, whatever you think that sale price after repair value price is going to be, just subtract 10%. The Flip House sold for $139,000. I bought it for $65,000. I had $102,000 invested in it. I'm not sure what that, you know what, let's do the math. And when I say 102 in it, I mean totally invested with purchase price plus repairs, $102,000. So 102 minus 139, 37. So 10% of 139 would be $13,900. You know, that's what I assumed that my closing costs were going to be. That's 3% for my realtor, 3% for the buyer's realtor, 3% in lawyer and settlement fees, and an additional 1% in whatever. And you know, 10% is a high number to go with because there's a lot of times when you won't have to pay any closing costs. Maybe the buyer pays all the closing costs, or maybe you guys split it. So there's other factors that go into it, but 10% is just a good rule of thumb. Anyways, I would end up paying, instead of $13,900, I would pay $15,000 and some change. But regardless, I still saw like a $23,000 profit off of that Flip House. What an awesome thing that was. We went over there and cut the grass one final time. My realtors would go over there to remove their signs and check on the place the day before we closed. And the neighbor, some neighbor, I don't know which one it was, would go over there and say, hey, I cut that grass for y'all. And my realtors would message me later on in the evening saying, we just went and checked on the Flip House. Everything looks great. The neighbor told us they cut the grass. I said, damn, I can't even get recognition for cutting the grass. Not only am I paying even more than I thought that would have to pay, I can't even get the recognition, a simple recognition for cutting the grass. But anyways, neither here nor there. We sold Flip House number 2. So cool deal there. And even though I saw a profit, and even though it was good to bring back that money, all of that money is already tied up again, and we'll get to that real shortly. So moving on also to the mini mansion. Again, the mini mansion is off of the table, and what a ordeal all of that turned into. The short of it is we did an inspection over there. The inspection showcased a ton of repairs outside of what, you know, we could handle and what we knew about, including structural stuff. So that's the reason why we were not moving forward with that. And in turn, well, better way to put it, since then, since all of that, we've actually found Flip House number 3. We will be getting Flip House number 3 at the end of July, and I'm very confident in this next house. I guess is the best thing that I can tell you about this. It doesn't need a full electrical upgrade. It doesn't need HVAC. All of those things work. This is the most expensive house that I'll attempt to flip. It's going to cost me everything in an effort to do this, literally everything, even more than I've got actually. However, as sketch as all of that may sound, this is exactly what we've been looking for, and we found this and we pounced on this immediately as soon as it hit the market. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it really is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. All we need is a closet. There's a room that doesn't have a closet, and you need a closet in a room to consider it a bedroom. So we got a 3 or a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. It could even have 3 bathrooms. And really, this is a cosmetic flip. It's pretty, dirty and messed up on the inside, but nothing too major. We're gonna tear out carpet, we're gonna redo the floors, we're gonna upgrade the kitchen fully, we're gonna do both bathrooms. There's some leaks in the roof. There's a little bit of drywall repairs that need to get done. But ultimately, this is a cosmetic flip, and this is exactly what I've been looking for. And I'm really excited to get into this next house. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this, I believe that we can turn this next house around in 2 months. But got no idea what the market's going to be like, considering the eviction moratorium gets lifted July 31st, or it's supposed to. We're going to have to wait and see how that turns out. So that could definitely impact the housing market. Now, real quick, I went into this next deal with flip house number 3. This is a bigger house too, 2 stories, 1,600 square feet. I went into this next deal as an unrepresented party, and the seller does have a realtor. So when we went and seen the house, me and my wife did, it was an occupied dwelling. The owner was there with his family. I got a little video walkthrough. I'm gonna save that. We'll share that in the future. I'll save it for an upcoming video because again, I don't wanna make this super long. But when we toured the place, it definitely looked, you will see when you see the video that it definitely needs quite a bit of attention on the inside. However, in terms of big ticket items, I don't really think there's gonna be too many of those. The kitchen, yes. The bathrooms, probably. If we added another bath, which I doubt that we will. If we add a closet, which I doubt that we will. Really, it's just cosmetic stuff. Floors, paint, fix up some walls. We need to put a ceiling in the living room, but when you see it again, it's not as bad as all of that sounds. It's got a nice yard. It's got a nice garage. Like, this is a big house to be flipping, and I'm super excited about this. It's not the mini mansion in terms of size, but it's definitely the biggest house and totally different from the first 2 identical houses that we've done so far. And to think that this could potentially get done in 2 months, that's crazy. But let me share these other things about this next deal with you guys real quick. So the price on this thing, it's higher. I'm not gonna share the price just yet. What do I think it's gonna need in terms of repairs? It's gonna probably need, I'm thinking about $30,000, give or take a little bit. However, it's going to leave us enough room to see potentially a really good profit from this house. Potentially. You never know what the market's going to do. You never know if it'll even appraise. Hopefully it will. But when we went and saw the house, I would call the realtor right then and there and say, hey, look, I really want this house. He said, okay, submit me an offer. I had to figure out how to submit a formal offer as an unrepresented party. I've never done this before in my life. I'm Googling this. I'm on Rocket Lawyer. I would finally figure out how to do this. I'd send it over to him. He says, hey man, this thing is kind of jacked up. You need to tighten this up. I would go back, try to tighten up what was wrong. I resubmitted it and he said, okay, I'm gonna go meet with the seller and I'll get back with you. Now, I'm not sure if there were other offers on the table. I offered this guy full price, exactly what he wanted. I didn't even try to haggle with him. My wife says we could have probably went in lower. I gotta believe that there was at least another lower offer on the table. But whether there was or there wasn't, the seller agreed. He was going to allow me to purchase the property. So that was a major thing right there. The next thing was I had to learn how to write up a purchase agreement. Again, I'm not a realtor. I've never done anything like this before, but I would find a standard template of a purchase agreement that was exactly what I needed it to be. It hit on all the points that I needed it to hit on. And I was able to basically copy that verbatim, tweak a couple of things, and we got a purchase agreement. So we've got the next flip house. It's going to be coming at the end of this month, and wait till you guys see this. I think you might be impressed, or maybe you won't be. We'll just have to wait and see. One final thing that I want to share with you guys, there's a bunch of other things that have been going on, but I'll save that for upcoming videos. I'm going to get back on track here on Joe Does Stuff. There's a lot of other things that I want to share with you guys, but again, for time purposes, we'll just keep this with this one final thing. Folks, tomorrow, I'm actually going to the contractor class. This is a 12-hour deal. 8-hour mandatory class that I've got to go attend. Then a 4-hour, right after that, a 4-hour study group where they give you the books and they basically tell you everything that you need to know for the test. Then from there, they submit that to where they need to submit that to. Then I've got to sign up to take the test. I don't know how much that's going to cost. I think it's at least an hour and a half, maybe 2+ hour long test. Then from there, I've got to apply to become a contractor. And while doing that, I've also got to disclose my criminal history, which is a big deal. They said if you've got a criminal history, that's not an automatic deal breaker. However, 10% of people with a criminal history get denied. That's their statistics. Now they say, especially if your crimes are in relation to like construction fraud or things like you might as well not even try. I don't have any crazy crimes like that. I do have some theft charges from when I was younger, some grand larcenies. But you know, those are decades ago. I was young and dumb. And then I've got drug charges outside of that. So hopefully all will go well and I'll be able to become a contractor. God knows I'm trying. And also, my wife's going to realty school. So we're trying to like cover all the bases with this stuff. And hopefully, by the time it's all said and done, even if she doesn't become a realtor, I mean, she wants to be a realtor, but even if she doesn't become a realtor, at least she knows the things that you need to know as a realtor. Because let me tell you something, just trying to write up an offer and a purchase agreement, yo, that shit was tough. And when, you know, one thing to mention, you want to be an unrepresented party like I am in this next deal because you don't want to pay a 3% realtor fee. Like, that's a lot of money. That's at least $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $12,000. It could be even more, depending on what you're purchasing. But one thing about it, when you find something like I did with Flip House number 3 as an unrepresented party, and you say, hey, I want to get this house, you better be able to just click and print or click and send an offer because you got that template already made up and the purchase agreement, which hopefully after doing it the first time, I would be able to do it just like that moving forward. Because if you're not able to do that, one, they may not take you serious, and two, you might miss out. Because just because you say you want to put in an offer and you want to get the property doesn't mean that there's not somebody right there ready to do the same thing, way more organized than you are. And with a property like the way that this next one is, which I think is a great find, I'm actually kind of surprised that we landed this. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. I'm going to be tied up 12 hours in this contractor class, and to boot. Another thing to mention about all of this, you've got to wear a mask the entire time. The mask mandate has been gone. It's been over with, but they don't care. It's their own rules here, and you have to wear a mask for 12 hours. Should be fun. I'll be filming about this, doing a little before and after reaction from this, and I'll be sharing that with you guys upcoming this week with you. I hope you had a great 4th of July. Thanks for taking the time. I'm sorry there's been such a delay, but again, hopefully I was able to explain well enough why there's been a lack of videos here. And hopefully I'm beyond all of that little feeling sorry for myself. Things just ain't working out. Can't even get acknowledgement for cutting the grass one final time as an act of goodwill. It is what it is. I learned from a guru, you can't have any emotions in this real estate game. It's only numbers. Have a great one, folks. I look forward to getting back on track and sharing with you guys so much more coming here on Joe Does Stuff. Hey, go do something today and be awesome. Until next time, peace.